Well, hello. In this brief video, I want to talk about the pseudo-Palestinians. We've got this nice little article. I found it on the internet, and the questions. It asks 11 questions about the pseudo-Palestinian Nazis, and it's clever. It's really clever because it's academical. So it's about debunking the Palestinian lie. Now, if you're so sure that Palestine, the country, goes back through most of recorded history, I expect you to be able to answer a few basic questions about that country of Palestine. Number one, when was it founded and by whom? What were its borders? What was its capital? What were its major cities? What constituted the basis of its economy? What was the form of its government? Can you name at least one Palestinian leader before Yasser Arafat? Was Palestine ever recognized by a country whose existence at that time or now leaves no room for interpretation? What was the language of the country of Palestine? What was the prevalent religion of the country of Palestine? What was the name of its currency? Choose any date in history and tell what was the approximate exchange rate of the Palestinian money, its monetary unit against the US dollar, the German mark, the euro, Great Britain pound, the Japanese yen, or the Chinese yuan on that day. So that's 11 basic key questions. Right, and finally, since there's no such country, so no Palestinian can answer these 11 questions. Right, so finally, since there is no such country today, what caused its demise, and when did that demise occur? So they can't answer that either. So if you're lamenting the low sinking of the once proud nation, please tell me, what exactly was that nation proud, and what was it so proud of? Well, they still can't answer that. So here is the least sarcastic question of all. If the people you mistakenly call Palestinians are nothing or anything but generic Arabs collected from all over or thrown out of the Arab world, if you really have that general ethnic identity, what gives them the right of self-determination? Why did they never try to become independent until the Arabs suffered their devastating defeat in the Six-Day War in 1967? So I hope you avoid the temptation to trace the modern-day Palestinians to the biblical Philistines. Substituting etymology for history won't work here. So the truth should be obvious to everyone who wants to know. Arab countries that never abandoned the dream of destroying Israel, still they cherish it today. Having time and time again failed to achieve their evil goal with military means, they decided to fight Israel by proxy wars. So that for that purpose, they created a terrorist organization, cynically called the Palestinian people, and installed it in Gaza, Judea, Samaria, the West Bank. So how else can you explain the refusal of Jordan and Egypt to unconditionally accept back the West Bank and Gaza, respectively? So the fact is, Arabs populating Gaza, Judea, Samaria, the West Bank, have much less claim to nationhood than that Indian tribe that successfully emerged in Connecticut, in the United States, with the purpose of starting a tax-exempt casino. So at least that tribe has a constructive goal that motivated them to build that casino. So the so-called pseudo-Palestinians have only one motivation: the destruction of Israel. So they are nothing else but a terrorist organization that will one day be dismantled, I hope. So in fact, there's only one way to achieve peace in the Middle East. Arab countries must acknowledge and accept their defeats in the wars against Israel, and the losing side should pay Israel reparations for the more than 50 years of devastation they have visited on. Now, the most appropriate form of such reparations should be the removal of terrorist organizations from the land of Israel, and accepting Israel's ancient sovereignty over Gaza, Judea, Samaria, and the West Bank. So that will mark the end of the Palestinian people. What were you saying again? What was its beginning? So that's a clever little article found on the internet, and that is debunking the Palestinian lie. There's no such thing as Palestine.
Adolf Hitler and al-Husseini, the Palestinian leader. Here we have the leader of the pseudo-Palestinians, al-Husseini, along with his pal Adolf Hitler,